to the 1 year Bible read, the daily read. What's today's day counter? Today is 117 in a row, chat. Today 117 in a row. Today is April the 24th. So chat, that means we're reading from April the 26th. Because we're 2 days early. All right, let's go. Let's get into today's read, chat. Today's read to these chapters. To these pages. There we go. Nice flip. Okay. Hey, thank you for the like already. I haven't even seen you show up to the chat yet. Hey, what's up, Husky? How you doing? Welcome to the chat. Thank you for the like immediately upon entering the stream. I'd love to see it. Tonight's read is coming from Judges 6:1 through 4, 6:1 through 40. Following that up with, hey, welcome to the chat. Wade from Russia. Much love to you. Thank you for joining my chat. Then we're following it up with Luke 22:54 through 23 and in verse 12. Then we're going to follow it up with Psalms 95, 1 through 96 and in verse 13. And then we're going to wrap up tonight's read with Proverbs 14, 5 through 6. Let's go. That's a pretty cool. I can't really see everything. I have these shades on right now, but I like the emotes. And without further ado, let's get into tonight's read. Today is day 117 in a row. We're doing this for 365 days. And without further ado, Judges 6:1 through 40. The Israelites did evil in the Lord's sight. So the Lord handed them over to the Midianites for 7 years. The Midianites were so cruel that the Israelites made hiding places for themselves in the mountains, caves, and strongholds. Whenever the Israelites planted their crops, marauders from Midian, Amalek, and the people of the east would attack Israel, camping in the land and destroying crops as far away as Gaza. They left the Israelites with nothing to eat, taking all the sheep, goats, cattle, and donkeys. These enemy hordes come in with their livestock and tents were as thick as locusts, and they arrived in droves, the camel too, numerous to count. And they stayed until the land was stripped bare. So Israel was reduced to starvation by the Midianites. Then the Israelites cried out to the Lord for help. When they cried out to the Lord because of Midian, the Lord sent a prophet to the Israelites. He said, "This is what the Lord, the God of Israel, says. I brought you up out of slavery in Egypt. I rescued you from the Egyptians and from all who oppressed you. I drove out your enemies and gave you their land. I told you, I am the Lord your God. You must not worship the gods of the Amorites, in whose lands you now live. But you have not listened to me." Then the angel of the Lord came and sat beneath the great tree of Oprah, which belonged to Joash of the clan of Abiezer. Gideon, son of Joash, was threshing wheat at the bottom of a winepress to hide the grain from the Midianites. And the angel of the Lord appeared to him and said, "Mighty hero, the Lord is with you." So Gideon replied, "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened to us? And where are all these miracles our ancestors told us about? Didn't they say, the Lord brought us up out of Egypt? But now the Lord has abandoned us and handed us over to the Midianites." Then the Lord turned to him and said, "Go with strength you have and rescue Israel from the Midianites. I am sending you." "But Lord," Gideon replied, "how can I rescue Israel? My clan is the weakest in the whole tribe of Manasseh, and I am the least in my entire family." The Lord said to him, "I will be with you, and you will destroy the Midianites as if you were fighting against one man." Gideon replied, If you are truly going to help me, show me a sign to prove that it is really the Lord speaking to me. Don't go away until I come back and bring my offering to you." He answered, "I will stay here until you return." Gideon hurried home. He cooked a young goat and with a basket of flour, he baked some bread without yeast. Then, carrying the meat in a basket and the broth in a pot, he brought them out and presented them to the angel, who was under the great tree. The angel of God said to him, "Place the meat and the unleavened bread on this rock and pour the broth over it." And Gideon did as he was told. Then the angel of the Lord touched the meat and bread with the tip of his staff in his hand, and fire flamed up from the rock and consumed all he had brought. And the angel of the Lord disappeared. When Gideon realized that it was the angel of the Lord, he cried out, "O sovereign Lord, I'm doomed. I have seen the angel of the Lord face to face." "It is all right," the Lord replied. "Do not be afraid. You will not die." And Gideon built an altar to the Lord there and named it Yahweh Shalom, which means the Lord is peace. The altar remains in Ophrah in the land of the clan of Abiezer to this day. That night the Lord said to Gideon, take the second bull from your father's herd, the one that is 7 years old. Pull down your father's altar to Baal and cut down the Asherah pole standing beside it. Then build an altar to the Lord your God here on this hilltop sanctuary, laying the stones carefully. Sacrifice the bull as a burnt offering on the altar, using as fuel the wood of the Asherah pole you cut down. So the Gideon took 10 of his servants and did as the Lord had commanded. But he did it at night because he was afraid of the other members of his father's household and the people of the town. Early the next morning, as the people of the town began to stir, someone discovered the altar of Baal had been broken down and the Asherah pole beside it had been cut down. In their place, a new altar had been built, and on it were the remains of the bull that had been sacrificed. The people said to each other, who did this? And after asking around and making a careful search, they learned that it was Gideon, the son of Joash. Bring out your son, the man of the town demanded of Joash. He must die for destroying the altar of Baal and for cutting down the Asherah pole. But Joash shouted to the mob that confronted him, why are you defending Baal? Will you argue his case? Whoever pleads his case will be put to death by morning. If Baal truly is a god, let him defend himself and destroy the one who brought down his altar. From then on, Gideon called Jerubbaal, which means let Baal defend himself, because he broke down Baal's altar. Soon afterward, the armies of Midian, Amalek, and the people of the east formed an alliance against Israel and crossed the Jordan, camping in the valley of Jezreel. Then the Spirit of the Lord clothed Gideon with power. He blew a ram's horn as a call to arms, and the men of the clan of Abiezer came to him. He also sent messengers throughout Manasseh, Asher, Zebulun, and Naphtali, summoning their warriors, and all of them responded. Then Gideon said to God, if you are truly going to use me to rescue Israel as you promised, prove it to me this way. I will put a wool fleece on the threshing floor tonight. If the fleece is wet with dew in the morning, but the ground is dry, then I will know that you are going to help me rescue Israel as you promised. And that is just what happened. When Gideon got up early the next morning, he squeezed a fleece and wrung out a whole bowl full of water. Then Gideon said to God, please don't be angry with me. Please let me make one more request. Let me use the fleece for one more test. This time, let the fleece remain dry while the ground around it is wet with dew. So that night God did as Gideon asked. The fleece was dry in the morning, but the ground was covered with dew. In chat, that is the end. Oh, how you doing? How you doing, Jeremy? Born in Ukraine, grew up in Siberia, Russia, proud American. Hey, my aunt is Ukrainian. Like, subscribe, donate, follow, become a friend. Hey, appreciate you, bro. Snowman brother, reading the Bible right now to the people that are so. Yeah. Play your words, seeking to the people's hearts. Hi. These some deep quotes, Husky. And how you doing, Jeremy? Welcome to the chat. And also welcome to the community, Husky. Thank you for the sub, bro. And now Luke 22:54-23, ending on verse 12. So they arrested him, Jesus, and led him to the high priest's home. And Peter followed at a distance. The guards lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat around it, and Peter joined them there. A servant girl noticed him in the firelight and began staring at him. Finally, she said, this man was one of Jesus' followers. But Peter denied it. Woman, he said, I don't even know him. After a while, someone else looked at him and said, you must be one of them. No, man, I'm not, Peter retorted. About an hour later, someone else insisted, this must be one of them, because he is a Galilean too. But Peter said, man, I don't know what you were talking about. And immediately while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed. At that moment, the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Suddenly, the Lord's words flashed through Peter's mind. Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny 3 times that you even know me. And Peter left the courtyard, weeping bitterly. The guards in charge of Jesus began mocking and beating him. They blindfolded him and said, prophesy to us, who hit you that time? And they hurled all sorts of terrible insults at him. At daybreak, all the elders of the people assembled, including the leading priests and the teachers of religious law. Jesus was led before the high council, and they said, tell us, are you the Messiah? But he replied, if I tell you, you won't believe me. And if I ask you a question, you won't answer. But from now on, the Son of Man will be seated in the place of power at God's right hand. They all shouted, "So you are claiming to be the Son of God?" And he replied, "You said that I am. Why do we need other witnesses?" They said, "We ourselves heard him say it." Then the entire council took Jesus to Pilate, the Roman governor. They began to state their case. "This man has been leading our people astray by telling them not to pay their taxes to the Roman government, and by claiming that he is a Messiah, a king." So Pilate asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "You have said it." Pilate turned to the leading priest and to the crowd and said, "I find nothing wrong with this man." Then he became insistent, "But he is causing riots by his teachings wherever he goes, all over Judea, from Galilee to Jerusalem." "Oh, is he a Galilean?" Pilate asked. When they said he was, Pilate sent him to Herod Antipas, because Galilee was under Herod's jurisdiction. And Herod happened to be in Jerusalem at that time. Herod was delighted at the opportunity to see Jesus, because he has heard about him and had been hoping for a long time to see him perform a miracle. He asked Jesus a question after question, but Jesus refused to answer. Meanwhile, the leading priests and teachers of religious law stood there, shouting their accusations. Then arrived, and the soldiers began mocking and ridiculing Jesus. Finally, they put a royal robe on him and sent him back to Pilate. Herod and Pilate, who had been enemies before, became friends that day. And now, chat, Psalms. Psalms 95, 1 through 96, ending on verse 13. Come, let us sing to the Lord. Let us shout joyfully to the rock of our salvation. Let us come to him with thanksgiving. Let us sing psalms of praise to him. For the Lord is a great God, a great king above all gods. He holds in his hands the depths of the earth and the mightiest mountains. The sea belongs to him, for he made it. His hands formed the dry land too. Come, let us worship and bow down. Let us kneel before the Lord, our Maker, for he is our God. We are the people he watches over, that flock under his care. If only you would listen to his voice today, the Lord says. Don't harden your hearts, as Israel did to Meribah, as they did at Massah in the wilderness. For there your ancestors tested and tried my patience. Even though they saw everything I did, for 40 years I was angry with them. And I said, they are a people whose hearts turn away from me. They refuse to do what I tell them. So in my anger I took an oath. They will never enter my place of rest. Sing a new song to the Lord. Let the whole earth sing to the Lord. Sing to the Lord, praise his name. Each day proclaim the good news that he saves. Publish his glorious deeds among the nations. Tell everyone about the amazing things he does. Great is the Lord. He is most worthy of praise. He is to be feared above all gods. The gods of other nations are mere idols. But the Lord made the heavens. Honor and majesty surround him. Strength and beauty fill his sanctuary. All nations of the world recognize the Lord. Recognize that the Lord is glorious and strong. Give to the Lord the glory he deserves. Bring your offering and come into his courts. Worship the Lord in all his holy splendor. Let all the earth tremble before him. Tell the nations, the Lord reigns. The war stands firm and cannot be shaken. He will judge all peoples fairly. Let the heavens be glad and the earth rejoice. Let the sea and everything in it shout his praise. Let the fields and their crops burst out with joy. Let the trees of the forest sing for joy before the Lord, for he is coming. He is coming to judge the earth. He will judge the world with justice and the nations with his truth. And now Proverbs 14, 5 through 6. An honest witness does not lie. A false witness breathes lies. A mocker seeks wisdom and never finds it, but knowledge comes easily to those with understanding. And now, the strength that you have. The strength that you have. Most men want to be strong. Surely Gideon must have wanted to be viewed as a man of strength, yet he viewed himself as weak. He was the weakest in his family, and his family was the weakest of all the other families. Yet God told this weak man to utilize the strength that he had. Obviously, his strength was not his family's heritage, nor was it his physical abilities or mental fortitude. His greatest strength, like our greatest strength, is the God of the universe who empowers us. And now, chat, that was the end of today's read from the 1 Year Bible Day, 117 in a row. In 1 second, I'm going to turn off this camera. I'm going to be right back, but I'm going to ask for clarity and wisdom on today's read. And see you. Okay? Okay, chat, we're back. So today we went over a couple of different passages. So let's go over the passages today. So today we read from Judges 6, 1 through 40. Then we followed that up with Luke 22, 54 through 23. Then we followed that up with Psalms 95, 1 through 96. And then we wrapped up tonight's read with Proverbs 14, 5 through 6. Right? And we're going to go over Proverbs 14, 5 through 6 really quickly. So, an honest witness does not lie. A false witness breathes lies. A mocker seeks wisdom but never finds it. But knowledge comes easily to those whose understanding. And this is what we'll bring from today's word. No matter how weak you may feel, no matter how defeated you may think you are, all you need is God. And all the strength of everything around us is coming right to you. You are not weak. You just need to ask for help. Weakness is knowing you need help and not asking. So, you're not weak. You just need to ask for help. It's okay. You feel me? And that's how we're going to end today's read, chat. You know, I want everybody who knows they need help today to go ask God for help, bro. It ain't that deep. And it don't make you weak. It makes you strong. Strength knows when a strong person knows when he needs help. You feel me? A weak person doesn't know when he needs help. So you're not weak, you're strong. A strong person knows when they need help, you know? So, you ain't gotta do it all by yourself. So when we're gonna wrap up today's read with that piece right there, chat, and I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Hey, this is day 117 in a row. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate y'all. And I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Let's hit this outro. We're on that limitless score, baby. I appreciate you. I might even love you, but I'm for sure glad you woke up today. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And I hope you have a blessed, wonderful rest of your night. Hey, this is day 117 in a row, and tomorrow will be day 118 in a row. Thank you. I really appreciate all the love I get from all of y'all. Thank you for y'all most valuable thing that y'all have, which is you coming and spend time with me. Appreciate that. Have a great one, and I'm gonna see you next time. Peace.